All right. That's actually a little delayed. Like, really? Are you fucking serious? So that's what we doing now? Everybody, what's up now? See, there's a whole lot of horn blowing around here. All right, where was I at? All right, we're gonna go back to these ridiculous. This to me, this Bellator card is absolutely ridiculous because why have three absolutely dominant fights, or should be dominant fights, before you get to your actual main event where you have competition? So the 11:35 fight is Douglas Lima and Andrew Karakov. And I mispronounced it. It's horrible. But anyway, this is actually a closer fight because Lima is plus 115, which is not bad, and Koreshkov is at minus 155. Now again, that is a line that shows you this is a competitive fight, but the money is pouring in for Lima, and you're trying to balance the money out. So what they did, you increase lines one way, you decrease them the other. So it's more like a balancing of the money on this fight. However, Koreshkov is the favorite on this one at minus 155. Now, not sure about you, but I don't really want to see Rampage Jackson versus Wanderlei Silva 4. That's not really something I'm interested in looking at for any real reason. However, I think this is a nostalgia fight, and it's mostly for Silva because Rampage has been fighting a little bit. Not very well, but he has been fighting. I think he had a couple fights at heavyweight, and he was out of shape for him. But he had, I think he beat King Mo, and then he lost a second fight to him, which, yeah, it is what it is. But, you know, he's been active. Silva, on the other hand, has not really been active. So this is more like a money fight, and the line kind of reflects that. Because Rampage is actually the favorite at 275 in the under, and Mr. Silva is 190 in the over, so the plus 190. Now, Rory McDonald at 1235. Rory is he's a scrappy guy, he's skillful, he's entertaining. He'll probably make this a very good fight. Now, Gegard Mousasi, I probably mispronounced that. He is your favorite at minus 285. Why? Because his skill set is high. This guy can really fight if you are an MMA fan. However, this is like a throwback UFC card. Other than the beginning. So it's one of those where you can kind of appreciate it, but really kind of not, because nobody really wants to see that. And like I said, we don't have any real boxing news to report because, you know, right now the way it stands, the next major fight is going to be Demetrius Andrade against Billy Joe Saunders, and believe it or not, Andrade is the betting underdog. And Billy Joe Saunders, while he's not that impressive, he does have a very good jab and a pretty decent skill set. And then we got November 10th, Tony Bellew, and I can't even pronounce this other guy's name, Usyk. And Usyk is a monstrous favorite over Bellew at 800 under, and Bellew is at 525. So it's looking like value probably over the hill. Now, and lastly, thus far, the December 1st, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay Wilder is the current champ. Tyson Fury has not, he didn't lose the belts, but he also is undefeated. And in his last fight, actually impressed me at the way he was able to get in shape for one, that which was actually impressive. And then he actually boxed. Now with Deontay Wilder, I think it's going to be one of those where, because of his reach and punching power, Tyson had been down before, and I think his chin is going to be the question. I don't think he stays up, and I also don't think this goes the distance, you know. But Tyson did take the right hand away from Klitschko, so it'll be interesting. I still don't see Tyson winning, and right now, Deontay is at 190 and under as the favorite, and Tyson Fury is 155 and over, which lets you know this is still a competitive fight. And as heavyweights, one punch can end the fight. It'll probably come from Deontay. So now that we don't have any real fights going on, let's talk about at this 9:05 tonight. Now, I'm going to read these lines because it gets very interesting to me. You have UCLA versus Colorado. Colorado is a 9-point favorite over UCLA in under 57.5. Now, basically, what they're saying is, in order for UCLA to have an opportunity to win this game, they got the score. The combined score has to be over 57, or basically 58 points or more for both teams. And they don't think that's going to happen. Colorado can put up points, but I don't think this is going to be that game. It's going to be one of those ones, because right now, if you were betting just a straight bet, the odds are Colorado is huge at minus 330, and the over UCLA is 265. So yeah, Colorado is pretty much slated to win this one. Then you have the betting odds: Buffalo over Army at 12 o'clock. You have Michigan State 29-point favorites over Central Michigan. Georgia Tech 28.5-point favorites over Bowling Green, which they didn't even bother to come out with a line. You have Boston College 13-point favorites over Temple, and if you're betting, a straight bet is 480 under, and Temple is 380 if they're able to win for every 100. Clemson is a meager 25-point favorite over Syracuse. Indiana is enormous favorites over Rutgers at minus 800 and a plus 16.5. Or I mean, excuse me, a 16.5-point favorite. Alabama is a laughable 48.5-point favorite over. God damn, that shit is ridiculous. 48.5. I've never seen a line that high. Not to say they haven't been, I haven't seen it. Shit is ridiculous. Who in the hell gets a 48.5-point line? Oh. And then you have West Virginia and Texas Tech. And this is actually one that makes more sense. West Virginia is a 3.5-point favorite. You have Kansas and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is an enormous. They're almost 1,000. Well, it's 950 in the under, and Kansas is 635 in the over. It's some of these lines are ridiculous. Texas A&M is a 21-point favorite over Arkansas. They didn't even bother to put a line on it. North Carolina State is the favorite over Virginia. University of Louisiana Monroe is a touchdown favorite over Georgia State. That almost hurts, but you know they suck because they're just building a team. Just got D1 status not too long ago, so yeah, shouldn't have high expectations. God damn. Also, we shouldn't be here at Starbucks doing this shit. Okay, now we have Ball State, 7.5 point favorites over Kent State. Cincinnati is an 1100 under over Connecticut, which is 17.5 point favorite. So Cincinnati is actually expected to dominate Connecticut, but they're expecting Connecticut probably to hold the ball a little bit and not turn it over a lot. And then we have another one with no line, which is Wake Forest versus Rice. Wake Forest is a 27.5 point favorite. East Carolina is the 6.5 point favorite over Old Dominion. Appalachian State, oh my God, is a 25 point favorite over South Alabama. South Alabama, get your shit together, because that should not happen at any time. Appalachian State, get your shit together. Then you have Central Florida is a 13.5 point favorite over Pittsburgh, which is actually a little surprising to me. You have Western Michigan versus Miami, Ohio, excuse me. And they're only 2.5 points, so basically a field goal. They're expecting a field goal difference in this game, so it's probably going to be a defensive struggle. But it actually, let me rewind that, put it in reverse. 3.5 point favorite with a plus with the over of 54. So what that means, both teams have to combine for over 54 points, along with Western Michigan winning by at least a field goal for the payout to be yours. So Florida State is basically a touchdown favorite over Louisville. Georgia and Tennessee. Now, whoa, take it easy. Take it easy. And I actually love this thing because it is actually dark out here this summer. But here we go. Georgia is actually my team. UGA. 31 point favorite over Tennessee. Wow, they kind of upset me last week with their win. They didn't play the way I expect them to play, but they're playing like the number 2 team in the country right now behind Alabama. And that's, again, one I would love to see. So I'm going to be watching the Georgia game. I might get on here and do a little bit of streaming and screaming. And that game is at 3:30 Eastern time. So if you log on, just know your boy gonna have a little bits and pieces, and I may have it on a different network, but it's gonna be streamed. So just know that. Oklahoma and Baylor. Oklahoma is a 23.5 point favorite in the under of 68.5, and Baylor has really fallen off because there is no line on here. Purdue, 3.5 point favorite over Nebraska. Texas is my other team because, you know, I'm in Texas now, so Texas boy. They're 8 point favorites. Who the fuck does that? 8 points. That's what we're doing. 8 point favorites. Okay. Over Kansas State in the over. So they're expected to score 49 points combined or better. So at least 7 touchdowns. Troy is a 14.5 point favorite over Coastal Carolina. Now I see the numbers, but I'm gonna say this: I don't see Troy and Central Carolina scoring 55 points, so that'll definitely be in the under. I also don't see Troy winning by 14.5 points. So I wouldn't take any points on this one if I was betting. But honestly, I think this is going to be more of a touchdown game. But we'll see that. And then we have Nevada versus Air Force. Air Force is actually a 4-point favorite over Nevada, which, go Air Force. Auburn, a laughable 27-point favorite. Southern Miss. Michigan is a huge betting favorite and a 14.5-point favorite over Northwestern, who's also falling off badly. Eastern Michigan is the favorite over Northern Illinois. Utah is a 1.5-point favorite over Washington State. So they're expecting this to be a game that's going to be close all the way through until the end. So just keep an eye out on it. Utah, this actually should be a good game too. Utah versus Washington State. They have Washington State on the even, so whatever you bet, that's what you get back. And if Washington State wins, let me rephrase. If you bet 100, you and Washington State or Utah is the favorite by, again, 1.5 points. It's nothing, literally. In the over, so over 49 points, so 50 points combined between both teams. I think that's a good line. Don't be surprised on this if Washington State actually pulls this one off. So it's going to be one of those where you're watching, you're kind of concerned, but not really. So it is what it is. Arkansas State, Georgia Southern. Arkansas is 3.5-point favorite. Liberty versus New Mexico. I'm close to New Mexico, won't watch it, but I'll be cheering for them silently. New Mexico is actually a 7-point favorite. Florida, Mississippi State. Mississippi State is a 7-point favorite over Florida. Duke is a 4-point favorite over Virginia Tech. TCU is a 11-point favorite over Iowa State. And Texas San Antonio versus Texas El Paso. 10-point favorites. Now, if I was you, I would definitely take the points on this one. Texas San Antonio in the under. I'm going to say Texas San Antonio. I'll take the 10 points. And the gamble, I'm going to say in the over 45. So we'll see what it does. UAB versus Charlotte, 16.5 points. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah. Boise State, Wyoming. It is what it is. Boise State is the favorite by 17 points. Florida Atlantic, Middle Tennessee State. Florida Atlantic, Hawaii versus San Jose State. And Hawaii is the favorite by 10. Kentucky and South Carolina, which is the game of the cellar dwellers, but they're actually looking at this to be the no defense bowl, along with the Penn State Ohio State game. South Carolina is a 2-point favorite in the over, and it's got 51.5, so 52 points between both teams. Ohio State, Penn State is Ohio State is the favorite by 3.5 points in the over of 68.5. That is absolutely bananas. North Texas and Louisiana Tech. North Texas is the favorite. Marshall is the favorite over Western Kentucky. Now, here's a game that you might like. Notre Dame, Stanford. This is always a very good game. I like Stanford in this game. However, Notre Dame is the betting favorite. Now, here's the difference. Notre Dame is favorite 53 in the under. I take the under on this one. But Stanford, you're saying that basically a touchdown or 2 field goals. That's going to be the difference in this game. Stanford can move the ball. If Notre Dame can keep them out the end zone, I think that might be the biggest difference in this game. So that'll be a great game to watch, and it's on at 7:30 Eastern on tomorrow. BYU and Washington. Washington, the 17-point favorite. LSU and Mississippi. He had the gun line, boss. LSU is going to be doing the firing at 10 points in the favorites. Now, this is another one. Arizona State, Oregon State. Arizona State by 21.5. Fresno State and Toledo. Fresno State is a 10-point favorite. USC versus Arizona. USC is a 3-point favorite. I actually think they're going to win by a touchdown. And then tonight's going to be capped off with Oregon, California, and Oregon is a 2-point favorite in the over 58. And again, I have Oregon at least a touchdown, so it is what it is. And now, this shit don't even want to pop up. See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, my bad. Okay, because Colorado and UCLA has just kicked off. The Rockies and Nationals are in the bottom of the third, 0-0. And Tulane and Michigan. Tulane and Memphis, they're in the second quarter, about to go into halftime. Tulane 14, Memphis 7. So they still have lines that are running. Not a whole lot of things changed. We have the preseason games. Okay, and now we're going to go to the NFL. Now, tonight I'm actually going to just pick out a couple. Not going to go into a whole bunch of this extra bullshit. But we're going to go off with our starter games. The 1 o'clock Eastern games, and where I'm at, that means 11. The first games are the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. Now, the one thing about I love with the Patriots is the fact that you can't count them out ever because they get the numbers that you want. And you can't bet against Brady, and you shouldn't because they have the Patriots favored in the under of 48 at 6.5 points. So, not huge, not bad. And now we have the Texans against the Colts. And this one, I'm picking the Texans. Although the Colts are a 1.5 point favorite and the under. So, it'll be what it is. So, whatever. And now we have Cincinnati versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are my team. Somehow they're going to make it to the Dome to play in the Super Bowl this season. Now, notice I didn't say they were going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not crazy because they're going to find a way to lose it. But they are 3.5 point favorites tomorrow in the under of 53. That one I'd pick the over, but I'm going with the Falcons. Green Bay versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo might surprise you. Green Bay is just a team of consistency. They're the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL. And you can't really bet against Aaron Rodgers. And Vegas has them at 9.5 point favorites in the under. The Cowboys and Detroit Lions. Okay, where do I begin with this mess? Because the Cowboys should actually be a better team than their record reflects. And right now, they're not doing anything impressive. And I think that is what's hurting them. So this line only being 3 points, a field goal, I really don't trust it a whole lot. So, and And here's where the betting comes in, because if you bet Detroit, you got plus 125. That is not bad at all. So if you're gonna bet the $100 or whatever, I'd put it on Detroit and not Dallas. You know, because this is one of those iffy games, because Detroit has talent, they have weapons, they can do it. The Cowboys have a tendency of giving it away. So it's kind of hard to call this one, even with the line. So, but I'll go Detroit if I was putting money on it. Then you have the Jets in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is full of studs. Like right now, they are really playing football. They're right up there with the Los Angeles Rams. So, and they are the betting favorite as well as the favorite to win at 7.5 points. Then you have Tampa Bay and Chicago. Tampa Bay has actually been a little bit hot. And Fitzgerald, while, you know, he's doing this thing, Jameis Winston probably will come back. They have more weapons than the Bears. The Bears are the 3-point favorite at home. However, that's another one. With it being a close game, I'll give it to Tampa Bay. You know, I might be eating my words on that one, but, you know, it is what it is. Philadelphia versus the Titans. Philly 3.5-point favorites. I think that is generous, because I think Philly will win by at least a touchdown. And then Arizona Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks, and they have Seattle winning by 3 in the over. There's no way in the hell that I got them winning at 39 points over. That's going to be, I agree with the field goal game, but that's definitely going to be an ugly game, and it's going to be in the under. So I'll keep Seattle on that one. The Cleveland Browns versus the Oakland Raiders. Oakland, again, has that tendency of giving games away. While they're a 3-point favorite, again, it's a close game. Cleveland might be on a roll. They might be able to take the momentum with them. They may be able to surprise you again. They played very good ball thus far this season. You know, 1-1-1. You know, they're scary, because you don't really know how good they actually are, because there's like literally no expectation for them. So that one, again, the betting line, if you're gonna bet the 100 on that game, if you're not a Raiders fan, you know, you get the plus 125, so it's not a horrible bet. San Francisco versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they got this one right. The Chargers are favorites by 10.5 points, and you can't beat that with a stick. Then you have the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. Yes, I did laugh. Had the little chuckle, because the Saints will win this by at least 10 points. I don't even know what it is, because New York's defense, while they show up occasionally against horrible lines, the Saints have a gunner. They have a gunslinger in Drew Brees. Let it be what it is, because he's going to get the ball where it needs to be. He's going to put points on the board, and they're going to roll. Go Saints. Then we're going to close out the night with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore and Pittsburgh in the under. Pittsburgh, they're pretty decently coached. I think they'll probably pull this one off, but, you know, who knows? They might screw it up too. And then we're going to have Monday night, October 1st, Kansas City and the Broncos. Kansas City is the betting favorite, 4.5 points in the over. I'll go with that one. You know, it's not something I love, but I'll go with that one. So you got all the huge picks, and it is what it is for right now. Alright, so those are my picks for right now, and I'll probably see you guys later.